sight. Listen, when God wanted to heal Paul after conversion, remember, God spoke to who? Ananias. You know, Paul was going to crucify the church when that light struck him. Can you imagine in his blind let him be saying, Lord, you must come and heal me. Lord, you must. God spoke to Ananias. God always uses man for man. Now, this makes me remember one of us. That's Pastor Imo, our branch, one of the pastor in the branch, in Ayegu. They were trusting God for fruit of the womb. They would not have had any child. Because all the while they were trusting God, the wife came to meet me. He said, Papa, I said, what is it? Many years ago. He said, God has never done anything spectacular for her before. So she's praying that God should give her a child. And I told her, I said, but have you found out medically why you are delayed? He says, Sir, I don't even want to care whether medical or no medical. What I want to see is that God is a wonder-working God and he must do it by himself. I said, no, sir. No, ma. Don't pray like that. She kept praying like that. Until after she saw that time was going, she now came to meet me. I said, you know what, you should go and pray. Lord, teach me what I need to do. Then she saw in a revelation, somebody gave her a sachet of drug. And she came. I said, God has spoken. Your case is medical. He said, no, sir. God will. I said, your case is medical. Let's go see a doctor. So she went to see the doctor. The doctor did run some tests on her and gave her a sachet, as she saw in her dream. She got pregnant after. If you are waiting for God to come and teach you, you will wait for life. Look for the man that God has taught that you can learn from. Let's leave this one. Okay, let me read this one out. There are several people God gave encounters on certain subjects. Find them. Find them. Lastly, wisdom requires that you deliberately search for what you want. Wisdom require that you deliberately search for what you want. Now, which means if you are going to be wise, you must know what you want. What do you lack that you need? You can't just be saying, I'm looking for wisdom. Wisdom over what? You know, it's like the wisdom market is like the restaurant. You know, there are some restaurants where you can't find meat pie. You can't find, what do you call that, that kind of rice? Basmati. Basmati. Okay, thank you. The day I saw that rice, I was shocked. It's not different from normal rice. But when they cook it, it's longer. There are some shops you can never find it. Now, and there are some places you can never find amala. So if you are looking for burger, you cannot go to Bibiri. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm using it to illustrate for you to get what I'm saying. Now, listen, what kind of wisdom are you looking for? There was a day I finished 40 days of fasting and prayer. I had God said to me, Personal one, son, stop fasting. Stop it. I said, sir, why? He said, look for wisdom for finance. That's what you need now. Wisdom for finance is what you need now. Not for power. Yes, sir. Then I went to my bookshelf. I saw Richard Templar's book. not for power. Yes, sir. Then I went to my bookshelf. I saw Richard Templar's book. As I'm talking to you now, I'm still reading about finance. As I'm talking to you, I'm reading about church growth. And you know, leaders, 3 things could happen to me if you don't grow. Number 1, you can slow me down. Because you didn't see what I'm saying. You can slow me down. Because I expect that everyone in various departments hold number of people. Can you imagine if the choir has 120 people? The ushering has 50 people. In the media, the leaders there by wisdom, now they are creating the department, I love that, can house 30 people. I noticed that we have replational growth, in the technical. When somebody is useful and is no longer available, there's always somebody else. I don't want that kind of growth again. When somebody is useful and it's like, it doesn't have chance again, we don't lack replacements. I don't want that. We want multiplicational growth. That we have 10, 20 people in the technical department, that each of them are sound. Then they begin to fix rosters. Who is on Wednesday? Who is on the first service on Sunday? Who is at the second service on Sunday? Who is... Do you understand what I'm saying? If the meters and waiters can hold 20 people, and those 20 people can follow up newcomers, God can replace you. And I won't like that. And I miss. God can replace you. And I won't like that. And I miss. I don't think you are flowing with me. And the third thing that can happen to me, if you become so terrible and you become strange children, God can remove me and find another congregation for me. It happened to one of my fathers in the faith. He pastors a church at Orita Challenge here. A big church in Australia. The pastor was dying. He said God showed him that there's a pastor in Nigeria that should hand over this church to. He didn't know that an assignment was waiting for him at Orita. He was still struggling with where 2 or 3 are gathered when robbers came to his house. He wanted to go and off the gen. He didn't know that they were in the compound. They came out. He wanted to defend himself. They shot him. Here, he used his hand. The bullet passed through the hand. The pressure of the bullet was not that strong to enter the heart. But it injured him. Got through the flesh, but couldn't get through the bones. They rushed him to UCH. After treatment, he said, after all, I came from abroad. He relocated to America and went for a missionary work in Australia. The pastor found him. I've been looking for him. The church at Orita is still where it is. Where 2 or 3 are gathered. That's why. Grow. Every leaders, please grow. And you can't grow without wisdom. So wisdom requires that you deliberately search. Now, I told you, there's this book I read of recent. If I had known that book about 20 years ago, some of the leadership mistakes that I made, that made some people to leave church, I would never admit. What's the title of that book? It's written by Doug Mills. It's for leaders. In that book, I learned a lot. In fact, it was in that book I discovered that a member can be sitting at the back, the way Sister Covenant is sitting, not talking to anybody in church, and may be stronger than me in the church. Now, God forbid, Sister Covenant, she's in the ushering. She now says, okay, she did something, remove her. And she decides to leave. She can leave with every member. The title of that book is The Good General. The good general knows the battles to avoid. He doesn't pay attention to every battle. That's why you see that it's not every crisis they bring to my table. If they bring it, I ignore it. I allow them to be handled, then I will just keep financing. Grow. Do you know that it is wisdom that determines your rating? Your level of wisdom, not your age, not how long you have been in our church. The kind of wisdom that comes out of you is what determines who follows you, who submits to you. So it shouldn't always be about why did you join the church? I love Pastor Prince's message. Why did you join the church? Mama is very fair. It shouldn't be about that. We are leaders. It's leaders meeting. That's what I'm talking to you. Let somebody be in church because of you. I love the choir rehearsal. In fact, the choir rehearsal is like the angels are singing. Let somebody say, I'm in church because of the man.